First News with Keeler in the morning on WIBX and WIBX950.com.
What are you going to do with the weed? You're going to roll it up?
Well,
you're going to roll it up in a joint and pass it around to a bunch of other unvaccinated people. That's the best way to spread the virus.
They give you a lot of in the legal states. They give you pre-rolled joints. You know, they come in a package, and you just hand them out.
Okay, that's not the point. Who rolls it isn't the point.
I understand.
You're smoking it with other people.
No, you're not smoking it with somebody else. You give a joint to somebody else.
I do think it's stupid. I'm with you both. Except for you, Andrew. It's the greatest idea in the world. Okay, moving on.
I mean, are they going to start offering heroin for a jab for a jab?
Well,
is that what they're going to call it?
Marijuana's legal.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's a little extreme.
Girls. I hate to break up this fight, but Wayne is on line one, and he's got some really good news.
Thanks.
So this is Making a Difference report.
His screen is not working. I have let me go to Wayne, just to break this all up. Very good point. Thank you, Angela. Wayne, good morning. Hello, Wayne. You're on the radio. You can't hear me because my buttons aren't pushed here. Now I think everything's all set. Okay, good morning, Wayne.
Hey, guys. I wanted to give some positive news. On the Parkway, both coming towards McDonald's and, towards MVCC, they are repairing the road again in the same identical spot. They do it every year. That's positive. Every single year they fix that. Usually it's around Boilermaker time when they do a little facelift on that parkway. They're actually doing it probably in,
You're using the wrong adjective. It's not positive. It's that's what it is.
Repositive.
That is. I mean, that is the problem that we have, I think, that people have complained about for a long time in Utica. Instead of fixing what's underneath the macadam, they just keep paving over top of it. And it continues to sink, and it sinks more, and, let's pave over it again. I mean, that's what people have complained about. Now, I don't know that that's true, to be fair. But that's what they kind of,
I'm telling you, they kind of took probably about 8 to 12 inches, because you only notice when you get upon it, it says... So you're going about, 30, and then you hit this so-called bump. You drop down about 12 inches.
Oh, so it's quite a bump.
They finally put a little bit of blacktop to make it up so you can go down it. But for about probably 3 days, if you came up to it and you didn't know it was there, you went boom, then down.
Yeah, you got to be careful with that. All right. And this is without the Boilermaker. So it's nice to see that.
Are they going to have the Boilermaker this year?
In the fall.
Yes,
in the fall.
September.
So they're fixing it for the Boilermaker.
Okay, that's why it's being done. All right, there, Wayne. Thank you for that update. Guys. Okay, of positivity.
I love driving on grooved pavement. Actually, something about it, I feel like alive.
Gives you a little vibration.
Gives me a rush.
Some piece of garbage stole a guy's Avengers-themed prosthetic leg, and this was after he was hit by a car.
Jeez.
So the guy gets hit by a car. The leg is detached, which just came.
So this guy was had the misfortune of losing his leg and then get hit by a car and lose it again.
The guy, his name is Christopher Harris, was critically injured, and here's his estranged wife talking about him in the past tense, but as far as we know, he might still be alive, but someone stole the prosthetic leg.
Oh my God.
Police were able to return it, but this is his.
The only thing I can think is that they thought it was funny. They liked the Avengers. They thought it was worth money. Maybe they could pawn it, but it's priceless to my daughter and to him. It's a person's leg. It's his body part. It's part of who he was.
It's part of who he was.
Maybe he is dead.
It's part of who he is, because despite the fact that they're split up, he is, according to this story, he is still alive.
She's hoping for him to die.
I have a message here on the construction on the Parkway. I'm told that part of the road was destroyed due to construction of the new Dyson Energy Center, which is up by the zoo.
Right.
So
it was simply being repaired. This is a positive thing, not an example of the infrastructure underneath collapsing and just putting pavement over it. This is a positive. I'm only saying what some people running for office have said. We just keep paving over and over and not fixing what's underneath, right? Haven't you heard that a million times?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know that it's true. A former Disney employee shared the stupidest question she ever got from a guest. Andrew was actually an employee/intern at Disney. Did you have any interaction with guests, and what was your job at Disney?
Quick service restaurant called Pecos Bill's.
Okay, so
I was there. I got cross-trained on everything from working the topping bar, taking out trashes, to kitchen, to cash register.
And with taking out trash, don't you go underneath? Don't you go underground?
So, yeah, there's a common misconception. Disney World, Magic Kingdom, is built on the second floor of a complex.
Yeah, isn't that amazing?
Because you can't dig in Florida because you'll hit water. So they actually
There's
built
an entire
the
floor
tunnel
underneath.
Yeah, they built the tunnel on the first floor, and then the second floor of the complex is the actual park.
Is what you're walking on, the pavement and the rides and all that stuff.
So you would do. So it depends on where you were in the park, but where my restaurant was, you could still go to the backstage, which was just fenced off. You'd go to the behind the restaurant, and there's an intricate system of, I want to say like it's a vacuum. It's like an HVAC vacuum system where you dump the garbage in. You never have any bags. You just dump the trash and the garbage into the thing, and every 15 minutes, beep, 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 and it sucks it off somewhere.
And they don't use any bags.
They don't use bags.
That's the way to do it. Because now you're not contributing to the
right.
Yeah, that's
although the food waste is overwhelming.
I'm sure it is.
It's almost scarily. What you describe about that system just made me think of Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
It is a perfect 100,000, like Augustus Gloop going in.
Augustus and the chocolate milk. Yeah.
That's right.
This former Disney employee shared the stupidest question she ever got from a guest. And you can listen to it right here. Here's what she said she got.
I worked for Disney World as a CP in Bell Services at one of the resorts. I once had a guest come up to me who had been checked in for hours, and they still hadn't received their luggage to the room, and they were using Disney's Magical Express service. We were trying to track down their luggage, and we couldn't find it anywhere in our system, so we finally asked the guest where they left their luggage. They told us that they left it on their front porch of their home because they thought the service was magical. As if there's a magical bus that goes around all over the world and just picks up people's luggage and sends it to Disney World. That's a 100% true story.
Some people really believe in the whole magical thing at Disney.
You're telling me that the mouse in charge couldn't have gotten that? The mouse in charge. No,
one would think.
Well, listen, the mouse really doesn't do much.
And as we said, today is National Donald Duck Day. A day set aside for the cartoon, which made its debut in what year? Tick-tock.
1932.
Very close, 1934. The first cartoon was called The Wise Little Hen. The Wise Little Hen. The Wise Little Hen.
One more time.
1934. The Wise Little Hen. Did I mention we have a free money question coming up at 7:35? To be fair, that probably won't be the question. Just to be completely fair. Did I mention 1934, the wise little hen? Because you never know when it will be. You never know. Someday it may very well be the question. So there you go. And we had the story of the two guys, the two local guys, that were flying in Alaska and crashed their plane into a mountainside, were stranded for 36 hours. Isn't that incredible?
It's unbelievable.
And they survived. I spoke with someone the other day who told me, and Andrew, we're working on getting them, and if you and Angelo can really get on that, we'll try to. I'd love to be able to get him to tell his story of survival. Two of the guys, but the one that I know someone who knows is Fred Northup. And who used to own the insurance company down in Alien. His daughter now runs it. Anyway, I was told that you could drop him off in the middle of nowhere, and he would find a way to survive. He is a person that has a lot of that knowledge on survival. I think I'd figure it out, but I wouldn't know what to do, right? People know how to get water, how to collect water from the dew that collects overnight, right?
Yeah.
I wouldn't know what to do. But remember, they're out in the middle of a blizzard, high-level terrain, basically on a glacier, on a mountainside, and there they are for 36 hours. The last message they sent to authorities was, we don't think we're going to be able to make it through the night. And they did. They finally were rescued at 2 o'clock in the morning, 36 hours after their plane had crashed.
This is an insane
The story is still up on our website if you want to check it out. But I have another story. I mean, here these guys have this unbelievable story. They were going to be going and doing mountain climbing and traveling through rural terrain and all of that. Here are two guys that crashed their plane in the Everglades yesterday. Thankfully, they survived. They later said the flight had this as its purpose. Here's why they were flying.
We were like at 2,000 feet, and we had an engine failure. We knew we couldn't make it. People don't usually survive this kind of stuff, and the rate we were descending, we were like on a dive. We looked at each other, and we were like, what? We're alive. I was thinking about my grandpa, and he's the one that he's up there, and he will save me, and he saved me today, not the day to get tacos.
Were you able to understand what he said? They were at a party, and they had an airplane, and someone was craving tacos, so they were on a taco run and crashed their plane. So, but they survived. That's the beauty.
Can I get an invite to these parties?
It would be something, right? Tony J. Powers standing by on the line right now. Andrew, this screen is not working.
Yeah,
it's driving me nuts. Tanya Powers, Vice President Kamala Harris, wrapping up her foreign trip, going into South America, and concluding by meeting the President of Mexico. Good morning.
Good morning. Yes.
Was she at the party? They said, go get tacos. She said, all right, grab the plane.
Good morning, Tanya.
Good morning.
Tell me about this trip here.
This was her first foreign trip. She went to Guatemala and Mexico Monday and Tuesday. And, this was one of those things where she met with the presidents of both countries. She had said that her focus for this trip was to, address the root causes of migration. The president has tasked her with handling the influx of people coming from Central America. So this was part of that, handling that and working on that issue. She held bilateral meetings with both presidents, had some roundtables with entrepreneurs as well as labor leaders, announced a $40 million program in Guatemala for opportunities for young, primarily indigenous women. So that was a lot of her focus was on also elevating women in that region as well, which, is kind of goes along with the whole theme of, addressing the root causes of people, wanting to leave that country to start with or those countries. So those are kind of the nuts and bolts of what happened during the trip. It was kind of overshadowed yesterday by the interview that she did with Lester Holt, in which he asked her when she was going to go to the southern border. So that's kind of gotten a lot more attention on this than actually what happened during the actual trip.
That's something we were talking about the just the other day, and that is that everybody wants to know. There is a huge focus on why haven't you gone to the border? And everywhere she went on this trip, that question was asked. Kind of interesting. And
what was her answer? And how did Lester follow up?
She answered that several ways, but how did she answer that?
Well, her response was basically we've been to the border, and he says, you haven't been to the border. And she says, well, I haven't been to Europe either, She said, I don't understand the point you're making. She said, I'm not discounting the importance of the border. And her team has reiterated, and so did Jen Psaki during the press conference yesterday at the White House, that, her point was not, it was not to go do a photo op at the border. It was to address the root causes, which is why she went to, Guatemala, which is one of the places in that region that's had an influx of people coming from there to the southern border. So that was her point of the whole thing. But the question, the answer was not one apparently she saw coming as far as the question from Lester Holt, and that's kind of what's getting all the attention. Right.
Interesting. Okay, I'm not going to let you go 1 second further, Tanya. I know you have to be out of here. Have a great day.
Thanks a lot. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Tanya J. Powers from Fox News.
How does everybody and their brother seem to be asking the question, when are you going to visit the border? And she didn't see that one coming?
I find that really interesting. It's like the Yankees pitcher that was asked the question yesterday, and he didn't see that coming. It's like, come on, what's going on? All right, I want to tell you about, is this the song I'm thinking about? And you're going to hear it here.
We were on fire, I slashed your tires.
Do you know this song?
Like we burn so bright.
This is the song by Pink. I hear it on the radio all the time. Let me see if I can get to the chorus here. Here it is. I love my truck. My love, my truck. It's a Chevy 4x4. 5-speed on the floor.
This song is brought to you by Nissan.
Doesn't it sound like she loves her truck?
That's what it
drug.
is.
My love, my drug.
That's what it is?
Yeah.
Have you looked up the lyric?
No, that you can clearly hear the...
I don't hear that. I don't know what you're talking about.
My love, my truck.
It is my truck.
My truck. I love my truck. I love my truck. This is why my daughter says, Dad, you shouldn't be listening to this.
Dad, stop everything.
I got a break. Interesting start to this morning, huh? Some mornings I like to go home and start all over again.
You know, this would be a great theme song for the vaccination effort. We'll just give out your drug, whatever your drug is, and you haven't gotten vaccinated yet.
You and this marijuana thing.
There are so many of these songs in the world where people sing along and they think they're singing the lyrics, but they are not. Anybody have another example? Because I don't have one right now.
I can get a couple when we come back.
There's Macy Gray. There's a song, I try to walk away and I just choked, and it's like just a
okay.
You know.
There's also CCR.
I don't know what you just said.
I don't know what he said either. There's CCR.
That makes sense.
There's a bathroom on the right.
Nobody ever thought that.
Nope, I've never heard that.
Jeff, what?
In a million
There's a bad
years.
moon on the rise.
Bad moon on the rise.
Listen, if you ever listen, a lot of people when they sing along, they'll say, "There's a bathroom on the right."
Never heard that.
Never heard anything.
I'm going to break, though, because I got to go to the bathroom. Or I've got to go to the bad moon, which is down the hallway on the right.
It's rising.
It's 6:53 at WIBX.